Hi, John.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Not great. How you doing?
I'm going. Welcome back to the 52 Reasons podcast. And John, this is going to be a very happy episode, isn't
No, no,
it?
it's not.
So, Eagles, Eagles did not win on Sunday, did they?
Did they play? They play on Sunday?
Saquon Barkley did. I didn't know he was his own team. Dallas Goedert also played
A couple times.
a couple times. Eagles lost pretty badly. However, I have some spin zones for you. John, you look like you want to come across here and strangle me.
We'll see what we got.
So in today's episode, we're going to go over the Eagles' loss to the Bucs. They lost 33-16. Yeah, that was it. 33-16. I like to blank out any losses, so that way kind of. And then what we're going to do is go over that. We're going to talk about the positives, the negatives, a lot of negatives, not a lot of positives to take away from this. And then there's no game to preview next week. So instead, we're just going to preview kind of what that episode's going to look like. We kind of touched on it a little bit, but more in depth, of course. And then John has a quote from me. I have a draft for John, which I'm going to look up 5 minutes before doing it because I just realized I didn't do it. I'm all about transparency.
Yeah, okay.
All about transparency. And then we got to call Chad at some point. Should we just do it now?
Do you want to get it out of the way?
Yeah.
All right.
What are we going to ask him?
Remember?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You have it?
Do I have what?
The paper.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
Idiot.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't come prepared. Well, I don't know what he would do without me.
Dude, leave me alone. It's in my work shirt. It's in my laundry.
All right. Over under him answering the phone.
He should. He knows we're calling.
All right, Chad. Here we go.
Okay, here we go. He might be in the shower.
He's always in the shower.
This guy.
He's not going to answer.
No, he's not. Why haven't you're one?
Chad, I can't get to my phone right now. I'll leave a message and I will get back to you soon.
I was really hoping he would drop his number so we could just dox him.
Chad,
you're
2 for 1, bud.
No, one for 3.
1 for 3?
1 for 3.
Oh, God.
First episode we called him and didn't answer. Then he answered last week.
Yeah.
And now he didn't answer this week. If he calls you back, just be on alert.
1 for 3.
1 for 3, Chad. That would actually get you in the Hall of Fame.
So, Bucs game.
Not good.
Very much not good.
Okay.
A
lot of bad.
Let's talk about it.
Now, before we do, would we like to explain what we're wearing, or are we're gonna get to that?
I think we'll get to that.
Okay.
We're talking about a certain somebody.
Yeah. And, a take that I had, which I'll stand by.
Let's start on well, first of all, both of us predicted wins in this game.
Boo, golly.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was bad on us.
You had a 21-17 victory. I had a 24-13 victory. However,
at that time, AJ might be playing.
At that time, AJ was questionable. Lane was questionable.
Devontae was
all questionable. And it looked pretty good that AJ and Lane were going to play. They didn't.
Which I think is it was the smart move. Long term, it was the smart move.
Sure. But, yeah, we were wrong.
Yeah, we were pretty off the ball on that. Now, look, like you said, AJ was questionable. Devontae was questionable. Yeah. Lane Johnson was questionable. And Lane was a game time decision because it looked like he was going to play, and then like an hour or 2 hours before the game,
he didn't clear the 5th and last protocol.
So this game was over in 5 minutes.
It was definitely the first quarter. It was done. It
was 21-0 after. No, it was like 2 minutes into the second quarter. It was 21-0.
Well, you want to start offense? Or you want to start with defense?
There's not a lot to talk about on offense, so let's just start there, I guess.
Okay. Well, let's talk positives, right? You want to talk positives?
I can think of a positive, and his name is Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley.
The Eagles.
Fantastic. Can you imagine where this team would be without Saquon on this roster?
0-4.
0-4 easily.
0-4 very easily. Now look, John, I have a strange question for you.
Okay.
So, at the time when the Eagles were playing the Buccaneers,
yes,
who was the best player on the field on the offensive side of the ball?
Saquon Barkley.
It'll be Saquon Barkley.
And it's not even close.
So he definitely got the ball a lot during that game because the Eagles were down not one, not two, but practically 3 of their starting wide receivers, correct?
He touched the ball 12 times.
Rein it in.
12 times.
Okay.
What are we doing?
That is not good.
You're missing 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers, a Hall of Fame All-Pro right tackle, and the best asset we have is a running back and our offensive lineman in the run game, and you run it 12 times with the best player on your team.
Stinky.
After he breaks off a 60-yard run.
And then I saw Kenny Gainwell in the backfield, which I get. Saquon, it was like 100 degrees. He's dying. I get it. They got a touchdown there.
It was a tush push.
It was a tush push.
That's our positives on offense. You got more positives?
I do have more positives.
Go on.
Dallas Goedert's still pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
He was fine.
Where would the Eagles have been with? Can you imagine if our starting 2 tight ends was Calcaterra and Jack Stoll?
Calcaterra did break off a long one.
He did, and Jack Stoll had a couple catches.
He did.
Love Jack Stoll.
Goddard was fine. He was fine. He was an above average tight end, but he wasn't prime Travis Kelce like he was against the Saints.
Oh God, Travis Kelce.
He's fine.
Travis Kelce's kind of bad.
Well, right now.
No, he's bad.
Right now.
He's just bad.
But that's my thing is you needed Goddard to have another boom game, and it was okay.
I think we kind of not overrated him, but we looked at it into a sense that he wasn't going to have another Saints-esque game. He wasn't. It was on Kellen Moore and specifically Nick Sirianni, and don't worry, we'll get to him.
Hi, Nick.
Again, hi, Nick. To game plan because if you're the Bucs and Bruce Arians a very smart defensive head coach, you look at that and Goddard is going to be what?
Bruce Arians?
I'm sorry, Todd Bowles.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure we weren't.
Yes, my bad. Todd Bowles, very good defensive head coach.
Yes.
And you knew from the Bucs perspective that they were going to not only be able to blitz, but they knew they could get Goddard, cover him because he was the number 1 option on offense during that game.
Yeah.
So we knew he wasn't. Now it's up to. The Eagles traded for Jahan Dotson.
Really?
Do you want to know what he's done in his time in Philadelphia?
Nothing.
Run around the damn field.
Who
do you blame more for that? Because I saw an interesting stat on Twitter.com and Twitter.
Do you want me to be honest with you? And I know you're gonna get pissed off with me, but that's fine.
What else is no?
I blame Jalen. Jalen does not trust his receivers.
No.
Jalen trusts 2 players on this offense. 2 players, and neither one of them played.
I think he trusts Dallas.
I don't think so. I think until the Saints game, he had 0. Why do you think Goddard didn't touch the ball all last season?
So here's the thing. I agree with you, and I think it comes down to look, you need to trust your, and look, Jahan Dotson has not given Jalen Hurts a reason not to trust him. Now, if he was like Jalen Reagor out there where he's throwing the ball to him, but he keeps dropping it or he can't get open, that's one thing. But according to Twitter.com, and I don't know, I saw it. I might have liked the tweet. Hold on. Keep talking.
The issue with Jalen is he is not an anticipation thrower.
I can think.
He throws it. He throws it when the receiver's open, not to get the receiver open.
Okay, here we go. I got it. So this is per Next Gen Stats on ESPN. So that's pretty reliable.
Yeah.
Jahan Dotson has the highest separation out of any other Eagles wide receiver. Perhaps they should maybe use him.
Okay, well let's talk. About
I know the
that.
sample size.
Yeah,
is
the
different.
sample size.
Yes,
Devontae's played 3 games.
well, 2.5.
2.5. AJ's played one game.
So I understand the sample size is not
mean,
great when you're comparing to Britton Covey. Is that Chad?
No.
What a weird.
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Could be traded.
Howie?
No.
Jahan Dotson
No.
for Devontae Adams straight up.
Thank you.
Why?
You can't afford him.
Yeah, that's a great point.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it is on the quarterback to make everybody around him better, and Jalen does not make anybody better.
Do you want to know what's going to happen? I heard your point, and I'll get to it, but I just had a very funny thought in my head.
All right.
You want to know who could use a trusty wide receiver? And
would that be the Kansas City Chiefs?
God, so help me God, if they trade for, I'm going to lose it.
Right.
Not, I was thinking of, why did Devontae Adams go to the Raiders? Chad's calling. Chad.
Hey, what's going on?
Dude.
Chad, you're live on the 52 Reasons podcast. How are you?
Buddy. What's going on?
Sorry, I missed your call a few minutes ago.
Hey, it's okay. Listen, you called back. It's great. For all of you who don't remember, we called Chad.
He didn't answer.
He didn't answer the first time. He's calling back. Here he is, and now we got to ask him a question. So, Chad.
What's up, brother?
Chad. Would you like to ask him?
Yeah. So
would
Chad,
you like to give him any context or just straight into the question?
No, straight into the question. So, Chad, the 2020 NFL draft, the quarterbacks in this draft, I would like for you to rank them 1 through 5. Okay? You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
So we have Joe Burrow. We have Tua Tagovailoa.
Turn the ball over.
We have Justin Herbert. We have Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Jordan Love.
Yep.
Can you rank them 5 to 1?
One people, one.
Yeah, hold on 1 second here.
Chad's like writing it down.
He is. He's getting ready.
Grab a pen, Chad.
I gotta remember this. So it's Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Tua.
Yep.
We got Herbert, obviously.
Yep.
Jalen.
Yep.
And what am I missing?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love.
All right. So rank 1 through 5.
Yep.
All right. I would have to go with number 1. Oh boy, probably go Jordan Love.
Okay.
Go him 1. I would go Joe Burrow 2.
Okay.
I would go Jalen 3.
Okay.
I would go Tua 4.
Wow.
And I'd go Herbert 5.
Wow.
You know what, Chad? I respect your list.
That was actually
not bad.
That was good.
That was good. Now, would you like to hear John and I's list?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have Joe Burrow 1, obvious answer. We have Jalen 2, because out of those 4 other quarterbacks, Jalen's the only one to play in a Super Bowl.
Yep, correct.
We have Jordan Love 3. I think arm talent, he's the most talented.
Yes.
4, we have Justin Herbert. And 5, we have Concussion Boy.
Concussion Boy, yeah.
Okay. So, not too far off.
Not too far off.
No,
we're around the same spectrum.
Yeah, right around.
And what was Jared was the same as you, or you guys?
Yep, we were on the same page with this one.
Yeah, we actually were.
I like it.
All right. Well, there's a couple different factors. I get the Tua thing with the getting hurt all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
The best ability is availability.
I wanted to rank Jalen higher. It's just the performance lately, obviously, makes you think twice a little bit. But
yep,
that would be my 5, though.
All right, brother.
All right, Chad. We appreciate you. We love you.
I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, bye.
Actually, not bad. All right, Chad. All right.
I like it, dude.
Now we got to hit him. We got to hit him harder next week.
Yeah.
We got to hit him
Deeper cuts.
Deep cuts.
All right.
Deep cuts.
So we're still on the offensive side of the ball.
What?
I'm done with the positives. I'm done. I need to vent.
Before we do, we were talking about Devontae Adams.
Devontae
Why did Devontae Adams go to the Raiders?
Derek Carr was his best friend. They played in college together.
That's not what I thought. Now my entire point. Oh, my bad. Why did Devontae Adams almost go to Denver?
Almost go to Denver.
Yeah, let me cook here.
I don't know.
That was Nathaniel Hackett.
Okay.
Now, do you remember who the Broncos tried to get until he actually decided to stay with that team and now is playing for a different team?
Are you talking about the Jets?
I am talking about the New York Football Jets.
But
not only that, John. Do you want to know why I think they might do it?
Why?
Because they have a pass rusher that they don't have and could trade, and the Raiders could.
Well, here's the thing. The Raiders are in a rebuild.
Can you imagine that D-line with Crosby and Reddick at the bookends?
I mean...
That's gross.
Well, they also have the dude that played for the Dolphins. I can't remember his name, but he's a very good pass rusher. Very good. Wilkins?
Maybe.
I think it's Wilkins.
You're asking me two deep cuts, pal.
I think it's Wilkins.
Baseball guy, remember.
It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Would you be shocked if it does?
Kinda.
Really? I think the most likely is the Chiefs.
I mean 1 for 1.
Okay.
Like Reddick for Adams. That's not
straight
happen.
up. No, it's going to be. It's going to. If anything, it's going to be Reddick and like a 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
For Adams, because I guarantee they're. Maybe the Jets could get a better draft pick if they take on the contract.
Maybe.
So maybe they could play into that. Like, look, we're not going to pay Reddick, but we'll take on the contract if you give us a better pick.
Maybe.
But anyway.
I'm pissed off now.
You might be asking yourself, Jared, what happened? It looks like you and John were about to get into a very heated debate regarding the Philadelphia Eagles and their defense specifically. Now, unfortunately, for me, the audio got all sorts of screwed up when I was recording it because, silly me, I decided to use a different recording software. And instead of recording the audio separately, which I usually do, I said, you know what, screw it. I'll do the 2 for 1, and it ended up screwing me in the long run. So what I'm going to do here is kind of go over what John and I talked about very briefly. Unfortunately, this week's episode is going to be a little lighter, which is unfortunate because the last 40 minutes we kind of had a lot to talk about and everything like that. So we'll be getting into that. So, where we left off when John and I were talking was the Eagles' offense. We looked at Saquon being great. Dallas Goedert was pretty good. We talked about the turnovers with Jalen Hurts, and that's going to be a problem. And we got into a discussion about Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, their similarities, especially their last year regarding Carson Wentz in 2020 and now Jalen this year. The similarities are very scary. They look like the same quarterback. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, this is honestly the worst defense that I've seen from a Philadelphia Eagles team since that 2020 season. It is bad. It is a Swiss cheese defense. I can't even name 4 players, and that's another thing we talk about. I can't even name 4 players on the defense that I would rather that would be the starter on another team. It's just bad. It is all bad right now for the Philadelphia Eagles and their defense. And you have their supposed captain. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a lot of dogs barking. You have your supposed captain in Darius Slay going on Micah Parsons' podcast talking about top corners, and he doesn't even mention his own team. Like, Darius Slay is called Big Play Slay because that is all he's giving up in the secondary is big plays. And hey, Nakobe Dean, make a goddamn tackle. That guy cannot tackle worth a damn. That guy sucks. Every missed tackle, the Eagles had 18 missed tackles in this game. He was accompanied for 15 of them, it felt like. He was just awful the entire game. The entire defense was cooked. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I feel like week after week after week, we keep talking about how bad C.J. Gardner-Johnson has been. And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And every day and every week that goes by, I keep expecting him to be better. And I keep expecting him to pick up the pieces of a bad offense. And he's just simply not doing that. And it is very frustrating because we know the player that C.J. Gardner-Johnson is and can be, which is a all-pro, Pro Bowl safety in the NFL, and he's just not that anymore. He's just not. And even if we get a fraction of what he was when he was here in 22, and yes, he was banged up last year for the Lions, just if we get a fraction of that, That is all that matters. That is all that counts. Because Quinyon Mitchell has been excellent. He has been the only highlight on this defense. You look at Slay, we talked about him. The pass rush has been atrocious. Bryce Huff, Jesus Christ, he is so bad at doing the only job. He's a pass rush specialist, and he stinks at it. He is so bad at it, and he is stealing millions and millions of dollars from the Philadelphia Eagles and Howie Roseman that I want to just be, I'm going to be mean. And I knew that it was DOA, dead on arrival, the second that I saw he was wearing number 0. Disgusting. That is an offensive number, and you know it. And you know it, Bryce Huff. Jalen Carter has been very inconsistent. Jordan Davis is Jordan Davis at this point. Nolan Smith is atrocious, just absolutely god-awful. You need some changes in the secondary. I think you might start seeing Trotter a little more. I think you're going to see they mentioned, Vic Fangio said in the presser yesterday that Cooper DeJean looks to be taking first-team snaps at nickel because Avonte Maddox has been so bad. So it looks like they're changing some stuff on defense because they realize what they have right now is not working. The pass rush is bad. The secondary is getting torched on almost every single play. The checkdowns against the Bucs. Jesus Christ, stop one check down. Baker was cooking you guys out there, and it is ridiculous that we had to sit there and be like, are they going to change? Are they going to adjust? No, because the answer was no. I kept fooling myself into thinking that the Eagles were going to adjust their secondary and their defense in order to make up for the cooking that Baker Mayfield was doing. Because Jalen, yes, he had the bad turnover in the red zone. Yes, I understand that. But Jalen got your team back into that game despite not having Devontae Smith, despite not having A.J. Brown, despite not having Lane Johnson. And honestly, his pocket awareness is atrocious. It reminds me of Carson Wentz so much, and I'm terrified. I like Carson Wentz. I am a Carson Wentz guy, truth be told. But that similarity scares me. Very much so. Very much so scares me, those similarities between those two guys. You look at, Reed Blankenship was out of this game pretty early. You also had just bad defensive values, bad defense all the way around. I feel bad because John and I had a very good discussion about this entire thing, and it sucks that that's never going to see the light of day, but I wanted to get on here and kind of touch on it because I feel like I would be doing a disservice as somebody who is a co-host of a podcast and a host of another. I would feel like I would be doing a disservice here. I wanted to make sure that we touched on these things. Unfortunately, they don't have John and I got into some pretty heated arguments talking about the defense. But that's just something that I wanted to bring here. I wanted to talk about. You also look at, we had the quote, which it was Deion Sanders, and it was bad. So thank God, thank God that won't see the light of day. So there was that, and I had the draft, which was the Carson Wentz draft, where he pulled out some names on that list, which I was very impressed with. Looking at next week, because we kind of talked about it. Next week, obviously, the Eagles have a bye week, so John and I are going to spend that time kind of looking at the Eagles as a whole, kind of a week out. The rest of the NFL, we'll be talking about maybe some fantasy stuff. We have a couple debates revolving around some quarterbacks and stuff like that. So a lot of good stuff is coming down the pipeline next week, and I promise you, I'm going to do my best to make sure that the audio does not get screwed up again because, again, I feel so bad that this episode is as short as it is. But, we make do with what we got. But thank you guys so much for listening and bearing with us during these troubling times audio-wise. So that's going to do it for me and for John. And don't forget to like and subscribe, 52 Reasons Pod on all socials down below. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.